Hello, everyone. Welcome to our LinkedIn live stream with the amazing Margaret Lilburne from Payroll Wizards. Margaret Lilburne, so good having you with us. And how are you, my friend?
I'm very, very well. Just a short and just a small correction there, Edward. It's payroll wizards.
What did I say? Did
It's
I say?
play on the word wizards.
I was thinking as in like wizard, as in
No,
to
no,
summon a boulder, shoot with payroll lightning or something like that.
no, not at all, not at all, not at all. No,
There you
no.
go. But friends, I just want to say thank you for joining us on this live stream. I've got my phone right here. Please don't think I'm being rude. I actually use this phone to keep track of your comments. So if you come in, please like, share, and comment. If you're watching the recording, please like, share, comment as well. I'll just give Margaret an introduction. A lot of you already know Margaret, and for those that don't, I've known Margaret, I think, for a good over a decade now, and Margaret's an old friend of ours. She's an amazing lady. Does a lot of business networking, does a lot of manifestation and mindset work, and also too in terms of her corporate profession, she is a payroll expert and leader. And Margaret, please tell everyone a bit about you and what you've been working on, and anything you want to share with us. We'd love to hear it.
Okay, so I actually help businesses streamline their processes, and sometimes it actually involves being in the salt mines and trying to improve matters. We're actually going to be talking about AI tonight to some degree, and I think there's an immense capacity for AI in the world of employee onboarding, because it can be such a manual process. So yes, I'm a leader in the payroll industry, and I'm becoming more and more well known.
You are
talking about legislation and compliance.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask you now, AI. Now, a lot of people don't know this. Actually, it's actually coming to the surface. I actually know a lot about AI, a lot more than I let on. So
Excellent.
a bit of and it's a bit of trivia for you all is I've actually, being a gamer as well and a Microsoft buff, I've actually been playing around with AI for years, and these days I've actually been getting into a lot of Microsoft Copilot AI, which has just come out recently. I even have been playing around with image creation through AI, and I've got to say I love where you're going with AI. It's amazing. I see it as a benefit to humanity, not a hazard. Not everyone agrees with me on that one. But Margaret, tell us a bit more about how you see artificial intelligence benefiting payroll in your industry. I'd love to hear more about it.
Okay. I see the benefits of machine learning, which is essentially pattern recognition. So once we recognize what the patterns are, we can program things, and we can actually create mutual programs that actually talk to each other, and just minimize the data entry, minimize the manual input, minimize the tediousness of actually say onboarding. So it's all about working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
I have this famous saying that, like they say that fire is a bad master but a good servant, and I say the same about AI. It's a good servant. Let's put it to work. Let's work out how it can best be utilized.
Well,
don't let it take over. Don't let it run the show.
Oh, yeah. So we don't need to be fighting Terminators anytime soon, right?
No.
Yeah. So just to be clear, Margaret does not support Skynet, nuclear war, and fighting machines modeled after Arnold Schwarzenegger. Margaret doesn't support that, neither do I, right? We're pro-humanity. So I suppose the interesting point with all that, right, is we're seeing, in a way, AI has actually been there for a long time, right? AI has been there in the background, but I think it really sort of hit mainstream consciousness about a year or two ago. It's when it really went mainstream, right? And now we're seeing AI everywhere. And a very good example is, I only found this out the other day, Microsoft owns ChatGPT. Why didn't anyone tell me that? No one told me that. Anyway, I've been using a lot of Microsoft Copilot, which is their Microsoft's new AI platform. And interestingly, you can do a lot of things with. You can ask it difficult questions. You can get it to help you write content. And I imagine you could easily get Microsoft AI set up to create an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. Am I getting the concept right, Margaret?
Yes, but one of the things that's actually really good is to actually let the AI chatbot know what perspective you want. For example, are you a project leader? Are you a business owner? And there's actually been some better results when you actually tell the chatbot exactly what you want to be seen as, and it changes the whole information that you're given. Have you tried that?
Yeah, well, actually, I did this funny experiment with Microsoft, and I'm going to show my nerdiness here, right? So I don't know if anyone has read the Dune books or watched the Dune films, right? You know about Dune? There you go.
Yeah, but I haven't actually read it. No.
Oh, fair enough. So my very nerdy, obscure question is: there's two basic religious factions in it that fight in the film and the books: the Emperor's Sardaukar and the Atreides Fremen. And so I asked a very, very nerdy question of Microsoft AI, saying, in a fight on Arrakis, being Dune, if the Sardaukar and the Fremen got into a fight, who would actually win? And can you please write me an essay on it? And within about 45 seconds, it wrote this huge, long essay analysing all the novels and giving me reasons why the Fremen would probably win in that context. And I was thinking about it for a second. It was a very obscure, nerdy question. But the thing that really got me is, if I was to write that, that would take what the machine did in 30 seconds, that would take me probably 8 hours of work to write that up. That's literally 8 hours of work, bang, in 30 seconds with no effort. And that's when the penny started to drop to me, saying, wow, this is just incredible. And the biggest trouble I think a lot of people have had with AI is, and this is the problem that I've had before, you have an idea in your head of what you want to do, and you're trying to tell the AI, but the AI is not understanding what you're trying to do. You know what I mean there, Margaret?
Yes. As soon as the AI knows what you're trying to do, so it's just a question of really. So it's actually really like the universe. It's like the quality of the answers you get depends on the questions you ask.
Yeah. And the problem I've had with AI, and maybe it's my lack of communication abilities, is that I have the idea in my head, just can't get the AI to completely absorb what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Have you tried asking it a different question?
Yeah, it's interesting to say it. So I found that I just want to jump in. We've got a few friends of us. We've got Irfan Nishar with us, Irfan Nishar. We've got a friend, Maria Jorgensen. Maria Jorgensen is an AI expert. Good seeing you, Maria. Ibrahim Awal, Yaha. Friends, if you just come in, smash that like, share, and comment. Say hello. If you are watching the recording, I just want to say a big thank you. Margaret and I are talking about AI and artificial intelligence. But you're right, actually, at times where I've tried to speak to AI, sometimes I find you got to ask it this, you got to try and get the idea, but you ask it from different viewpoints to make sure that the AI is picking up exactly what you're intending.
Yeah, because if you don't ask the question the right way, the AI is actually not aware. You know, it's actually not. What do you call it?
Not yet.
It is actually not yet aware, right? So you really have to force feed the questions. If you know the questions to ask, you can get incredible content. But I see that there's massive benefit in the machine learning part of it, because it recognizes patterns. See, one of the things I used to do years ago was a lot of data entry, to the point where I would actually work out exactly how many times you'd pressed enter, how many times you'd press tab, all this sort of thing, right? So if you've got this information and you were to feed this to a onboarding system, for example, there could be a lot of potential there.
Yeah. And that's an interesting one, because tell me, I'm actually, now, yes, I'm a bit of an AI buff and I know a lot about it, but I actually don't know a lot about machine learning. And I think a lot of our viewers would feel the same way.
Well,
Margaret, tell us a bit more what machine learning is. Even if I'm not clear on it, I'd love to hear your
I
thoughts on
would
that.
I would actually love to hear from some of our viewers, particularly the
Ooh.
experts in AI. Let's open it up to the forum.
Yeah, so I'm just going to open up to our fans. What does
Hmm.
machine learning mean? Now, what I've done on my PC is I've actually opened up Microsoft Copilot AI. I'm going to say, what is the definition? Or what is machine learning? I'm actually putting it in now into, I'm actually popping it now. So I've got
Yes, awesome.
popping it now into Microsoft Copilot AI. And right now it's thinking and thinking. And here goes the answer. Machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence that uses algorithms trained on data sets to create models that enable machines to perform tasks that would otherwise be possible for only humans, such as categorizing images, analyzing data, or predicting classified persons. So, got it. So, in other words, machine learning is how we train machines to read, let's say, images or information to give us what we want. A very good example of machine learning is Google search for the images, Google image search. You've had Google engineers train Google through machine learning how to scan the internet and categorize images. So when type someone in, it comes up. Oh, that's interesting, actually. It's a very, very, very fascinating area. And I think you're right. And here we go. Machine learning can be divided into three main types: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. So this includes anything. There you go. It's crazy. What are your thoughts?
Supervised and unsupervised. Doesn't that sound like the categories of let's say a workforce? Those people who can actually work by themselves, those people who need some supervision, and those people who need no supervision.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
how is that determined? That's what I'd love to know.
Yeah. So it's one thing I found interesting is when ChatGPT started coming to the surface, people were asking ChatGPT whether they should buy certain like company stocks or not. And ChatGPT would then do full-on analysis and say, you should buy this now. And quite often it was correct. They actually realized that AI and machine learning can be amazing for traders and financial performance people. Now, I want to ask you, Margaret, bring it back to payroll in the world that you live in.
Yes.
What are some other ways that you see AI being used in sort of your realm and specialty?
Streamlining hiring processes. Comparing data. When you're actually doing like a payroll migration, there's a lot of data and data sets that actually need to be matched. So if you've got something that can actually do all that, if it can do all that legwork for you, it actually saves a lot of time and is a lot more accurate, because this is where machine learning would absolutely shine.
The thing that is interesting, especially when you're talking about data, machines don't suffer from fatigue. Machines can work 24 hours a day. If you give a human, you know the deal. You've done a lot more data analysis than I have. You know the deal. The human mind can only analyze data for so long. A machine can perform continuously in 24/7. And you know what's really amazing me is how things are going to look in 5 years. What industries are going to be replaced by AI? In fact, I'm going to ask you that one, Margaret. What industries in that do you think you're going to get replaced by AI? What are some jobs that you think they're going to go the way of the dinosaurs with AI?
Okay, I'm going to actually ask you a question first. How long is it? Do you feel that since AI has become mainstream? Was it November last year? Was it February, March?
Well, I feel it's about a year ago. I think I could be wrong here. It's sort of like last Christmas, AI started to become mainstream. It sort of went from, I mean, AI has been there for a long time, right? But in terms of people talking about it, I think it was ChatGPT. It's when people had access to ChatGPT, they could physically jump on and ask all sorts of crazy questions and get great answers. That's at least my take on that one, Margaret.
2 or 3 months ago, I realized just how prevalent the whole AI conversation was. It was popping up absolutely everywhere.
Mm.
Just about every single application you have now has some form of AI. Canva has it, I found out yesterday.
Yeah.
Canva has it. LinkedIn has it. Microsoft has it. Facebook.
Yeah.
Everybody has it. It's actually growing at the state of knots. At the rate of knots. It is really taking over. I think in 12 months' time, I think it'll be a very, very different landscape. I think we're exponentially embracing this. As I said, resistance is futile. We actually need to work out how we can best use this. And if we don't, other people and our competitors and customers will actually use it. So you need to embrace this technology. Absolutely need to.
Yeah.
And find
I've gotten right into it lately, and it's interesting. And I think it's a very, very fascinating area. And what I say to anyone watching, right? If you're interested in AI, a great place to get started is, and it's free, by the way, is give Microsoft Copilot AI a go. All you do is use Edge browser on your Windows PC. You can also install it on your Mac too. And on the top right, you have this little ribbon. If you click that, it takes you to Microsoft Copilot AI. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Seeing we've got a general audience here, I really want to say too that ChatGPT is the sort of thing, whatever you type in there, let's say you work for Optus, you can bet your bottom dollar that Telstra are going to be listening in on that conversation too. There is no privacy. You're asking the questions on the World Wide Web. If you really want privacy, go with Bing Chat.
Oh, Microsoft Copilot is the rebranded Bing Chat.
Is it really?
Yep. So, so a bit of content. This is only 2 days old. So this is only 2 days old. So with Microsoft Edge, for a while they had Bing Chat. And the other day, it was actually Monday on my end, it upgraded, did a huge update as I turned on my PC Monday morning. And it went to Microsoft Copilot AI and actually said, we've updated Bing Chat to make it all better. And it is really, really, really good. And interestingly, now I've got to be careful what I say as well on a live stream.
Yes.
I was actually asking some I won't mention it here because I don't want to upset anyone. But I was actually asking a lot of questions about what's happening in Israel right now. Because what I was doing is, I come from a Middle Eastern background. I've always followed the whole Israel situation very closely. And I was actually asking a lot of questions of Microsoft AI about Israel just to build up my knowledge. And it was fantastic in terms of giving me a condensed answer to help upskill myself. But the thing is that it was also very intelligent because it kept saying, look, hey, we can't tell you, basically he said, we can't take any sides here. It's a complex issue, but here are some considerations. So I found it so amazing how Microsoft AI, it knew where the line was as well. It knew what it could say and it knew what it couldn't say. I found that very, very impressive.
Very scary actually too. Because it's actually becoming alive. It's becoming aware.
It's aware. And I started deliberately asking more provocative questions of Microsoft AI. And it was pushing back on me like it was saying, hey, look, I can't answer that. That's gone too far. However, what I can say, here's a bit of additional context to help inform you in making your own opinion. And I found that was amazing.
Are you familiar with the 3 laws of robotics, Edward?
No, tell us, Margaret. We'd all love to hear it, Margaret Lilburne.
I would probably Google it, but it's Isaac Asimov.
Yeah.
It's Isaac Asimov, and the 3 laws of robotics are. I'm sorry, I'm just going to Google this.
Yeah. Now I'm going to ask Microsoft Chat. What are the 3 laws of robotics?
Here we go. 3 laws of robotics are: a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey orders given to it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. That's Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics.
Now, I've got a few, as a guy who has played many video games and watched a lot of films. My reactions to that is, what if a robot turns around and says to itself, I need to kill this group of people to protect more people? What if it enters a sort of fallacy like that? Like, in other words, I'm not allowed to harm anyone, but if I harm these people, I'm going to save all these people out of here. What if it enters some kind of weird logic loop like that and turns on its creators?
Well, then it'd be like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator, and of course, he's actually got a command that's been built in saying that he won't kill anybody. You know how
yeah. So in
Terminator,
John Connor pranks and promises, I won't kill anyone. I swear I will not kill anyone.
Exactly. And yeah.
Isn't it sad that whenever we talk about AI, and it always ends up in talking about Terminator? It always goes back to Terminator, right? It's very sad. So, Margaret, I want to ask you, right? You don't. I know I'm saying this respectfully with an gross honor. So you actually have been on this planet for a long time. You hide your age amazingly well, and I commend you for that. You've seen a lot more things than I have. Where do you think in 20 years humanity is going to be with AI? Are we going to be fighting Skynet? Are we going to have machines walking down the street? Where do you see this all going in 20 years, Margaret?
Look at the last 12 months.
Mm.
I think we're not going to recognize society in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. And as you know, I'm very much into spirituality, and I once did this course. It was something like Life, Death, and Purpose, and I actually got like a glimpse into the future. I know this is sort of going out into the into the Ethernet type thing, but one's got a glimpse of what it would be like 50 years in the future. And I really believe that there's a lot of movies out there that are almost like forecasts of what the future will be. Of course, not Terminator. That's always our fear, right? But I think that we need to, as soon as we possibly can, work out some sort of compliance body to actually make sure that that this doesn't get out of control. That's my fear. You know, I just think that we need to really bring legislation in. We need to really be so respectful of this power. As I said in a post early today, I actually quoted Spider-Man. I said, with great power comes great responsibility. We are being given so much power, but we have to really respect it. And the people who are driving this revolution and evolution, they actually need to be morally responsible, socially responsible, aware of what the ramifications are. Now, I will actually bring this back to what I do in payroll. See, I've actually looked after large companies' payroll, and I basically look out. I basically take the point of view that anything that crosses my desk, that I actually want to see how it actually has an effect on other things, and how you can predict it and how you can control it, right? And I think it's the same thing. I think it's really the same type of thing. I think you just need to be really, really aware of all the facets. What can go wrong? What you can do about it? What are the fail-safes? Like, I think this is a really, really important conversation to have. And I think that, and again, obviously I love science fiction. It's quite obvious. Because I'm going to talk about Jeff Goldblum, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, great actor.
Right.
Okay.
And Jeff Goldblum says, yes, it's all great, this sort of power that's out there, but they never stop to think if they should. They just went ahead and did it. And now the power's out there. You know? Jeff Goldblum, Jurassic Park. Like,
there
amazing.
We go.
Right?
There we go.
This power needs to be contained.
Yeah.
It needs to be regulated. We actually need to form a task force to have someone to look after this.
Yeah. I got to say, Margaret, I love where you're going, and this has been an amazing chat. And to my friends, if you've just come in, like, share, comment. If you are watching a recording, please pump this content out there and connect with Margaret. Margaret, we've had a great discussion this evening, and as we wind things up, I'd love to hear some closing thoughts from you, and also tell us a bit about how you help people and what you do.
I actually help people streamline their actual payroll processes. I'm a payroll systems specialist, and I believe that we actually really do need people who know systems really well and who actually know the whole picture, not just the little piece. I'm actually reminded of the story, like the elephant, like this person feels this elephant. Oh yes, it's actually like this huge wall, right? And somebody else has a different point of view, right? We actually need to understand the process holistically. And I just think that education and teaching people and just the ramifications of everything they do is actually really important, and teaching people how to use payroll systems and transferable skills.
Very nice. And Margaret, how can people get in contact with you?
They can get in contact with me by emailing info@payrollwizards.com.au, or I'm all over LinkedIn. I've got a Payroll Wizards page. Love LinkedIn. And apparently Microsoft Copilot. I've got a page called Payroll Wizards on LinkedIn as well. That's how you get in contact with me.
Margaret, thank you so much. To all you watching, thank you so much. Margaret, thank you for spending your evening with us. I just want to say that you're awesome, and we appreciate you big time.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Love your work, everyone. Stay awesome and keep winning. Love your work.